Hi there, my name is Amira Martin and I am a family financial expert at 4hatsandfrugal.com. And today I am answering all of your questions about grocery budgets. These are actual questions that you asked on the Baby Center platform, and today I get to answer all of them. I'm really excited about this. Grocery budgets are one of my favorite subjects to talk about. So today I'm going to give you my answers to your questions that were plentiful, very, very smart, and questions that many people ask all the time. So let's hop right into it. So the first question that I see here is, where do you save and where do you splurge? This is a great question. And this is a question that I answer quite a bit. And I always say it definitely depends on your family. For our particular family, we love to splurge on treats out. So that may be ice cream out or an actual dinner out at a restaurant or takeout, and that's where we splurge. Now, we do save up the money for those things, and I do incorporate that into our meal plan, so we do know when they're going to be coming up. But we splurge on that, and then we save on the things that we constantly purchase and keep in the house. So our pantry list and our pantry staples are just very rudimentary, inexpensive things like dried beans, rice, pastas of every kind, cheese. We always have cheese in our house. So that's where we like to save. And because we have a dedicated pantry list for each season, I'm able to really pay attention to what is a good price for those things. And I'm able to create a tiny little stockpile in our house. So that way, if things get crazy or I really want to do a month where we don't spend any money, I'm able to use everything that's right there in the pantry, the fridge, and the freezer. All right, so the next question is a great one, and I love talking organic, so this is going to be awesome. Eating organic is important, but I feel like it's expensive. Any tips? All right, this is my biggest tip that I give everyone, because we eat organic in our house, not exclusive, but I try to incorporate it as much as possible. And what I did is I started with the items that I knew we eat the most, and then I slowly got us into purchasing those things in an organic way. For example, we love to have chicken in our house. Chicken is a staple. I'm sure it may be a staple in some of your houses as well. So what I did is I said to myself, since we ingest quite a bit of chicken, it would make sense to start to invest in getting more organic chicken incorporated. I did not get everything organic right away. I will tell you that. I slowly built it up, and then I started to see what the price difference was there. Funny enough, it wasn't that big of a price difference for the things that we like to eat, the cuts of chicken that we like to eat. So I was able to slowly incorporate that, and I would do it by month. So every month I bought a little bit more organic chicken, and then the next month a little bit more, the next month a little bit more. So now probably about 80% of the chicken that we eat in our home is organic. And that's because I was able to incorporate it in a slow way, see how it was affecting the budget, and then adjust accordingly. All right, the next one is the cost of meat has shot up. How can I fit this in my budget or substitute it for something else? This is great, and I love that this is coming right after the organic comments. So the way that you can easily do this is, you're gonna hate this answer. Google it. Do you have those like really special meals that everyone in the house will eat? Like, you don't want to change the recipe because they just love it so much. If you just type in the name of that recipe or how you create it and put vegetarian behind it or even vegan behind it, you should be able to get some examples of how you can actually create that dinner without having to have meat as the base all the time. I know that sounds crazy and you're like, oh my gosh, that's literally what I would have thought to do, but I've never done it. Please do it. There are so many great vegetarian and vegan food bloggers out there, and their job for the most part is to try out these things that we know and love and turn them into more of a vegetarian or vegan option for our families. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to start incorporating more meatless meals into your meal planning. So maybe you do one night right now, maybe it's Meatless Monday. If you can just incorporate one more night where you do not have meat as the star, you will be ahead of the game and you won't have to worry about it taking up too much of your budget. Another great way is to make a few meals more plant-based, okay? And I know that's like a buzzword right now. And basically it's making the plants of the meal, the vegetables of the meal, the star. And then you just kind of sprinkle in a little bit of the meats, the chicken, the beef, whatever it is that you eat. We do that a lot in our home. One of the best ways to do that is in a casserole, a soup, or a stew. Make sure the meat is not the star, but everything else is the star. And if you start doing that a little bit more, you'll find more and more dinners and recipes that your family just absolutely loves, and you won't have to worry about the expense of adding more meat to the menu. Okay, what's next? Grocery shopping is so much more complex now. How do you plan around this? So I am a big proponent of sending someone to shop for you. And you would think that that would be more expensive. There is a fee for some of those platforms like Instacart and Shipt, or even Kroger Click Lists, things like that. Walmart has a grocery pickup as well. But the thing is, by doing that and actually having someone else shop for you, we take away the idea of just throwing things in the cart. I am a throw things in the cart gal, so I have to be very careful when I go grocery shopping myself. But I have noticed that I am starting to save even more money than we already do by using those personal shopper experiences. I can see exactly what I'm adding to the list. I can see the price of it. I can adjust my budget accordingly. I can see when I'm getting close to my budget by adding things to that list. And then I can make myself make big decisions before I even step into a store or before they even step into a store. So that's one way that I think more people should probably start to embrace is the idea of having someone take care of this for you. If you just have to absolutely go into the store, you need to make sure that you are being very strict with your list. Like they say, do the perimeter of the grocery store first, because those are the things that are most healthy for our bodies. And then you can go down the aisles. And I am a big fan of having a calculator handy. So if you're trying to stick to a specific budget, have that calculator in hand, start typing in things every single time you put something in the cart. You will be way more cognizant of what you're throwing in that cart if you have to type in the price every single time. So that's another fun way to kind of get you to stay put on your budget, not go over your budget, and not throw random things in the cart. It's pricey to feed a family of growing kids. Are there some good, easy meals that are cheap to prep? Yes, this is my jam. I have 3 growing kids, and I try to listen to what they are asking of us when it comes to dinners and even lunches and a few breakfasts. So we do a family meeting, probably about once a month, and I just ask them, hey, what did you like this past month that mom cooked? I tried new recipes here or there. I do them for the website quite a bit. And they will tell me, oh, I really like this, I really like that. And it helps me to plan accordingly moving forward. It also helps me to keep certain things in the house that I know they will eat and not waste, which is a great tip for grocery budgets. So ask your kids. Don't be afraid to ask them what they like. They won't always say candy and cake, I promise, but ask them what they like. Ask them what they would like to try as well. So ask them about in the past and then ask them about in the future, okay? And they will give you ideas of the things that they will want to try, things that they would want again, and then you can make sure that those things are on your grocery list when you go to the grocery store or you hire out to get your groceries. And it will help them create more of a routine for the things that they eat and help them understand that when they leave your nest, they will be in control of what they're going to bring into their homes. So it's a great way to get them going on that. So that way that's not something that you're teaching them at 17 and a half, right before they're about to leave your house. Okay, next one is Do you tend to buy generic? Okay, so that's a great question. I will definitely buy generic if I've tried it and I end up loving it. I am a little bit picky about certain things, so I do have my things that I will only go name brand for, but there aren't many. Right now is a great time to try generic because anything that is generic or store brand, they are trying their hardest to make sure it matches the name brand. So they want to offer it to you at a reduced price, but they want it to have the same taste and flavor of that name brand. Also, a lot of the times the name brand stuff is the generic stuff. Am I supposed to tell you that? Probably not. But sometimes those generic things that you see on the shelves, they're actually the name brand things, but they just don't pay the price to have that name brand on the bottle or on the can. I know. Shh, don't tell anybody I just told you that. That's a little secret. So I have a handful of things that I do like name brand. But for the most part, I have been highly impressed with store brand and generic items. They're coming up in the game, so don't discount them. Pun intended. Okay. Do your budgets count for going to multiple stores, or is it one-stop shopping? Okay. We do multiple stores in our house, but I do have one particular store that I am highly in love with. I won't say the name, but it is a store where I can go and I can get everything I need. It is at the fraction of the cost. So that's my main store. So you should always have a main store. Now, that's going to be the store where if you're a deal seeker, you're always going to find the great deals, or you have always found the great deals there. It may be a place where you know you're going to get quality meat and produce every single time because that's important to you. So have a main store. Pick your main store, but do not forget to visit other stores to kind of supplement the things that you may need. My main store doesn't have every single thing that I need. It doesn't have kosher salt, which still drives me nuts. It doesn't have the best seafood selection, and we eat seafood once a week in our house. So I supplement that with other stores. And again, because I use a grocery shopping platform where somebody does the shopping for me, I can give them a list for one store, and then I can give them the list for the other store, and then everything is taken care of for me. So we like to use different stores because there are different things that are required, and some stores don't carry everything that we need in order to complete our pantry list. And it's okay to do that. You don't have to stick with one store. All right, the next one is, how do you manage buying for the whole family if everyone likes different foods? Oh, this is great. I am a big fan of people liking different things in my house. I know that's going to sound very weird for someone who has a very tight grocery budget, but I love it because what happens is one person likes something, the other may not, but because let's say one kid wants to eat this thing all the time, that second kid starts to get interested in the item. Now, what I do is I don't go overboard with things that only one child likes. If two children like it, I make sure I get enough so that way that little group, that little posse can have as much of the item as possible. Bonus points if it is a fruit or a vegetable, because I do not mind getting you a bunch of fruits and vegetables to try, okay? If it's just one person, I will make sure that they have enough to have it between 2 or 3 meals for that week. So that's how I actually work that out. Now, when it comes to dinner, I make one dinner, y'all. I know that may be hard to hear. One dinner is made and that's it. You don't like the one dinner, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta give it a go. But I do try to make sure that in that one dinner, I have at least 1 or 2 things that person who doesn't like the one thing on the plate will actually eat. So that ensures that they are going to sit there and ingest some of the food. What has surprised me more and more again as I do this, or time and time again, not more and more again, as I do this, is that one person who's very selective ends up taking a little taste of the thing that they say they don't like. So I don't keep it away from them. I always serve it. and eventually they will give it a try again. And that's how we make sure we incorporate this even on a tight budget. We want them to try things and keep trying. That's very important when you're raising kids. You got to give them the chance to try new things over and over again. And eventually they may end up loving it. All right, next question. Are there apps or coupon programs that help you save? Yes. So my favorite app that I use all the time is Fetch. So the Fetch app, basically you're just scanning your receipts and then they give you points. And with those points, you can exchange them for gift cards for items. I think they offer cash every once in a while, but I love the gift cards because I can use that to get an Amazon gift card, a gift card so that way we can go out to eat. So that's something that I use to supplement our nights out when we eat together as a family. And I love it because you just scan the receipt. You don't need to buy certain things. You don't need to get the cash back and all of that. You scan your receipt, whether it's that you purchased one thing or 10 things, and they give you points for it. So, Fetch app, love it. I also use Ibotta, Checkout 51, and all of those things when I buy name brand items because, again, they will give you cash back or points for those things as well. And I think Fetch is probably the best because even if you shop at a place that may be more generic and they don't have actual name brand items like Aldi or even Trader Joe's, you can get points for that, which is pretty cool. All right, next question. How to grocery budget when planning for guests. Okay, so this is one thing that I love to share with my community. I have a small little community of women and we talk about how to live a full life on less every single day. And what I share with them, which kind of blew their minds because they also love to entertain. I love to entertain. It's my favorite thing to do, is that I don't take that out of the grocery budget. It's entertaining. It needs to come out of the entertainment budget. And you should have a line in your budget for entertainment. You're entertaining, right? So the bonus is that you can actually use some of the food from your grocery budget if you would like for entertaining. I try not to. I like to be able to go to the store and get the really good stuff, maybe create a charcuterie board and make a very special dessert. And if I allow myself to take that out of the entertainment budget and not the grocery budget, I don't feel restricted when I'm trying to serve my guests. So that's my tip to you. If you're entertaining and you're the entertaining family, you need to create an entertainment budget that reflects how important entertainment is to you. Now that entertainment budget can be for going to the movies or going out to dinner and all that other stuff, but it shouldn't have to come out of your grocery budget. And try to make sure it doesn't, because that grocery budget is for the people who live in your home to eat every single day, okay? All right, next, we're rocking and rolling. The next one is how to stop spending more than $200 at Costco. The short answer for that is to allow yourself to have fun at Costco. I love Costco. Who doesn't love Costco? It is a place where if you go in there, you know you're gonna spend some money. So allow yourself to spend some money. Make a budget before you go in, stick to the budget, but also say, you know what? This money is for whatever we find in the aisles. You don't have to say this is only for chicken, this is only for beef, this is only for laundry detergent. Say, you know what, we're going up into Costco, we got this $200 that we want to spend up, let's go spend it up. And plan ahead. If you plan the $200 for the two of you, and that's your date for the month, is going to Costco and finding the most random, awesome things at Costco, make that your date and make that your date budget. The big thing about this is that you guys can have fun with this. All it takes is a little planning ahead. You can have fun with your grocery budget. You can have fun with your trips to Costco and Target. It's just you have to plan ahead. Set the money to the side, and then once you're ready to take that money and go to town, say, this is time for fun, let's go spend it up. And you'll feel less guilty about it. So the last question is, how do you organize for price matching? So for those of you who don't know what price matching is, some stores will actually give you the price of an item that their competitor is advertising in their circulars. So let's say a store is doing pasta sauce for 90 cents, but your main store, remember how I mentioned the main store earlier? they're actually offering it for $1.10 that week for sale. If your main store offers price matching, you can take in the circular of their competitor and they will give you the 90 cents price instead of the $1.10 price. Saves a lot of money, right? Yes. There's also a way to keep track of sales cycles. So I'm going to tell you this right now. The easiest way to do all of this, to keep track of sales cycles and also be able to take full advantage of price matching, is to grab one of those spiral bound notebooks, you know the ones, the 10-cent ones that you get during back to school, and start keeping track of all of the things that you purchase in your home and the prices that they are during whatever week it is. Most sales cycles are about 6 to 8 weeks, so you should be able to get price matching on those items, or at least know when those items will be on sale by keeping track of this every week. Yes, it's work. Like I mentioned earlier, this takes time, it takes a little bit of work, but it's going to save you so much money. One way that you can actually do this and see all the circulars all in one place is to use the Flip app. That's F-L-I-P-P, Flip app. You add in the stores, your nearby stores, and every week they will upload those stores and their circulars. So you don't need to have them come to your house and fill your house with paper. You can see it right on your phone, and then you just write down prices of the things that you require in your house. Very simple, right? But that's how you can also keep track of price matching. And if your store offers that, you can actually take full advantage of that and sales cycles at the same time. Pretty cool, huh? I will say this to you all. I am a Jersey girl, New Jersey, born and raised. I lived there my whole life. We just moved to Ohio less than 4 years ago. So now we're a Midwest family. I definitely see the differences in pricing, obviously the cost of living, that's why we moved. But growing up on the East Coast in one of the most expensive states in the country, I have learned how to incorporate all of the money saving tips that I have incorporated. Everything I learned from being a Jersey girl in a very expensive place. They work wherever you go. The things that I have shared with you today are things that you can incorporate all over the country. Plan for fun. Stick to your grocery budget, but make sure that you are filling up your pantry with things you will eat. Allow people to have different ways of ingesting the food in your home. And if they like different things, that's fine. Just make sure you have just the amount that they will eat. Don't overspend on that type of stuff. Make sure that if you are shopping yourself, use the perimeter of the actual grocery store to get those things first, and use a calculator to keep tabs on everything you are putting into your cart. If you want to go organic, you totally can. Do it slowly. Slowly incorporate more organic items into your day-to-day eating. All of that works all over the country. It really does. The big thing is doing it. That's the hardest thing and the biggest thing. A lot of us know these tips, but we just don't do them, and we don't start to incorporate them, and we don't give ourselves time to learn. You're gonna do this. You're gonna learn how to do this, and you're gonna save a lot of money. Just give yourself time to do it. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye.